When we talk of Shakespeare's history plays, we know very well that he took his plots from several chronicles as well. So we need to know the name of historians of his era. Tudor historians. Tudor is concerned with the dynasty of that era. So Tudor historians are Polydore Virgil, Polyddore, Polydore Virgil, Vergil. The second one is Edward Hall, Edward, Edward Hall, Hall. And the third one, the most important one, is Raphael Holinshed, Raphael, Raphael Holinshed, Holinshhed. So as we talk of the plays like Hamlet, their plots are taken from Holinshed Chronicles. So we talked about Richard III, Henry VI plays. Now let's talk of Shakespeare's tetralogy. Tetra, you understand? Tetra means four. So the collection of four consecutive history plays by Shakespeare is called his tetralogy. And they begin with Richard II, ends with Henry V. In between them, we have two works, Henry IV, Part 1, Part 2. So they are Richard II, Henry IV, Part 1, Henry IV, Part 2, and in the last, Henry V. His Henry IV plays. Henry IV plays means Henry IV, Part 1, Part 2. Henry IV plays show a morality play element. Morality play. As we understand, when we trace the development of history of drama, how it began from mystery and miracle plays, and then after it took the form of morality plays, then comes interlude, and further we have different forms of drama. So morality play, that is very much allegorical, and there we have the main characters. They are not real human beings, even they are they are virtues and vices. So in fact we talk of virtues and vices in morality plays. So here when we talk of Henry IV play and how morality play element is found in it, it is understood in this way that Shakespeare also seeks some traits in an ideal king. Means what is his view of an ideal king that we can perceive in his Henry IV plays. We'll understand how it is. So his Henry IV plays show a morality play element and Shakespeare's view of ideal king, whether it is directly or indirectly. Like Henry V's education as Prince Hal. So as we know that in his childhood Jahangir was Salim. In the similar manner, Henry V, who became king after Henry IV. So Henry V in his childhood was known as Prince Hal. So the way the education is given to Prince Hal, his acquaintance with all strata of life. This is very interesting, that at least Henry IV could know this fact, that for making Henry V or Prince Hal a better ruler, he needs to understand, he needs to cope up with all threat of life, as we see in movie Bahubali 2, how Bahubali is sent to different parts of his state to know what is the condition of his people, so that he can manage his kingdom in a better manner after becoming a king. So that same we see in the education of Henry V as Prince Hal, his acquaintance with all strata of life. And Prince Hal, when he goes to different places and meets different people, he befriends them, he makes friendship with them, and one among them was Falstaff. Once he was the one of the intimate friends of Prince Hal. But see how very beautifully in later parts of his life, when he became king, he takes good decisions that we'll understand later. So his acquaintance with all strata of life and his final refusal of the opposite extremes of right, Falstaff. See, I was talking of this person, Falstaff, one of the best known character in Shakespeare's plays. Very funny kind of character. He's a knight, Knigst. He's a knight, and even then, the way he behaves is very funny. He is engaged in several wrong activities, and he makes Prince Hal do the same when he was living with him. But when this Prince Hal becomes the king, he does not think about his friendship towards Falstaff, but he takes decisions like a king. So he refuses the people like Falstaff, and also manages the people like Percy, Percy, who was the main antagonist of him in the play. To choose justice and true kingship. So this is how we can understand that how Shakespeare tries to portray the character who really believes in justice and who knows how to follow true kingship, and who knows what should be the characteristics of a real or true or just king. So the virtues that should be had in the personality of a ruler or a king, the view of which Shakespeare had, that we can see very clearly in Henry IV plays. Thank you.